No one told me there's a 20-minute track by Gino Vannelli. Hey, what's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful one out there. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, only a few of you told me about this track. The Gist of the Gemini. This is coming from his fourth studio album released in 1976, and he has a 17-minute track. War Suite is what we're going to be listening to. Prelude to the War, the Battle Cry, To the War, Cardinal Question, After the Last Battle, and then To the War Reflection. I'm excited to listen to this. I've been really enjoying Gino's music, and to see that he has a 17-minute track, sweet. I'm very much, looking forward to hearing this. So I believe I caught everyone that recommended this. This was Albert Host, Melvin Womack, and hold on, I think Dave. I want to say Dave recommended this track as well. I'm trying to find your name here, Dave. I'm pretty sure it was you. Yeah, Guy Eternal. I see you. Yeah, so I think you guys are the only three that recommended this track. There may be more. I don't want to say definitively that it was only you three, but at least initially, that's all I see. So anyways, thank you guys so much for the recommendation. I'm really excited to dive into it. We're obviously just going to let the whole suite just go on through. So let's go ahead and do that. Starting with Prelude to the War. Here we go, guys. I like how the synth came through. Almost acts like a quick bolero. Like, not exactly, but kind of. Sounds like Jean-Luc Ponty. Okay. Jazz tastes. Nice return. Okay, but I really like that middle section. Let's have more of that. Okay, that was a nice beginning. I like the build up. I really like that middle section, that little jazz tasting section. Kind of sound like Jean-Luc Ponty there. Nice percussion. It's kind of a cool stagger. That sounds like a video game soundtrack. Doesn't it sound like an old arcade track? Like for a racing game. I love the drumming amongst these simply squirrels. Fast drum. It kind of sounded like ELP at times, actually. Like a little bit.
If the day would come to fight for what is right, would you go? Would you burn the ground you reap from all your life? Would you say yes, or would you say no? Of your line, we're on the line.
Alright.
Would you plant your allegiance to death? Be the fate you may find. Look in your hearts. Do you know?
That sounds really good. quick shuffle with the quick closed hi-hats. The drumming is really off the charts. Trying to catch it. Yeah. Oh, that was a centerpiece of this whole thing. Drumming is really, really out of this world. And that synth with the bass, so bad. Just a little transition piece. Not much happening in that one, but a little transition piece to the final part, to the war. Reflection. Skittering synthy little pieces in there. Bring it home. No, I heard that's the next song. It's the final song on the album, but it's not part of the War Suite, so we're not listening to it. But it did start sounding good, and it did lead into it. That was fantastic. That was a great recommendation. I told you, like I said, I was very surprised to hear that Gino had a 17-minute track, and when you guys said that, I immediately wanted to listen, and it didn't disappoint. The vocals from Gino, I thought, are sensational. He sounds wonderful. Every time it moved into a piece of the suite that featured him singing, I was really happy. The To the War, which is like the centerpiece, that is obviously a great centerpiece of the suite, but just a great standalone track as well. His vocals are incredible. I love the climax. You heard it in that last section, building up, and I was saying, anytime I hear something that seems to be building up to something, I'm always thinking, please don't disappoint me. Bring me home. You got me halfway there. Take me the rest of the way. And he did not disappoint. I can't do it, but like the way he led off with that was really spectacular, really enjoyable. The synth work throughout this whole suite is really well done. A lot of the music reminded me of like Jean-Luc Ponty with like an enigmatic ocean kind of flavor. And then some of the sounds actually reminded me of Emerson from ELP. On the, you have a lot of synths and stuff going on, but it seems that mostly it's going to be Joe Vannelli handling synths, and then also Richard Baker, who's also handling that, along with some other things as well. And this is a very synth-tastic kind of suite that we listen to. There's a lot of key-based elements in here, but none of them feel overcrowded, overdone. Like they're a feature, not a bug. And I really enjoyed how they made these certain atmospheres, how they were playful, how they were dramatic. We got horns in different sections that sounded, of course, reminiscent of marching bands, as the drums were playing a marching band. We got timpani. So we just got a lot of different elements from, more symphonic elements into more, 76, but 70s, 80s elements with the synths and that. Got a nice little guitar solo in there as well, which I really enjoyed. It was a small one, but it was a nice one nonetheless from Jay Graydon. And the other thing that impressed me were the drums and the percussion. Drums by Graham Lear. And then you have some percussion done by John Mandel and then also Dito Morris. And those sections where the music was building up, and then it kind of erupted and broke away from the buildup and just gave us this quick kind of percussion, like bass snap, and then the rest of the synths and everything would join in. Were just really, really nice moments that I really enjoyed in listening to this thing. And it's 17 minutes, but it goes super quick. And if there's anything I love, when a longer song is economical with its time, it doesn't feel like 17 minutes. It just goes. That was a nice and tight piece of music. Very enjoyable. Now, some of the lyrics I had, and some of them they were missing on the website that I usually use, so I had to kind of bounce around a little bit. But the first two sections, there are no lyrics. Those are just instrumentals. So the first is actually going to be To the War. Get you guys up here. If the day would come to fight for what is right, would you go? Would you guard the ground you've reaped all your life? Would you say yes or would you say no? And if the legacies of your land were on the line, would you pledge your allegiance to if death be the fate you may find? Look in your hearts, do you know? So this whole suite obviously is very much just about war and going to war and the repercussions, the consequences and such of war. To the war, does the freedom seek the strong or seek the weak? Do you care? Would you face the foe or turn your other cheek? And abandon the hearts your children must share. And if the sanctities of your creeds were terrorized, would you kneel down in dastardly grace, or would you stand up and fight? Man, would you march to the war? So obviously the question of what would you do? Then you actually have, well, this is actually the final track. Then you're going to have Battle Cry. I think that was instrumental. Yeah, that's instrumental. So obviously you have the war actually taking place. A lot of things are portrayed just instrumentally. And I thought Carnal Question was actually quite an interesting track. So this is after the battle. This is when the soldiers have returned home. If I came back just a cripple from the war, would you hold me close like you did before? To me, it's like, it's very sad. It's very it's very stately that he's saying this. There's not a lot of poetry around it, no flowery language. He's just asking very direct. Would you love me the same way you used to? And what in the world would you do if I could not make love to you? The question is not whether the freedom we've got is worth the consequence of war. The question is just, can I hold you at dusk without you asking me for more? See, I like this because all he's asking is, if he comes back and he's not able to, oh my, will this person, still be satisfied with him? And he's not saying it like in a joking way. He's not saying it in a tongue-in-cheek way. It's not like portrayed, I don't know why, but like the opposite of this is like Frank Zappa kind of making something like this. Like, I don't know. I feel like he would make this more jokey, haha, with perhaps a message beneath. This is just a straightforward question. And I just really like how it's written. A post-war eunuch, a lover that is lame. Some famous hero and one shares his name. But where in the world would I go? You're all that I love and all I know. The question is plain. I mean, right there. Could our love still remain without its carnal ecstasy? Would you love me if I couldn't? Oh my. Even though there may be other ways that I can. Oh my. But it wouldn't be the same as when we used to. Oh my. And who in the world would I be if I lose all of you and half of me? That is such a great line. I mean, I just really like how sometimes I love poetry. I love trying to look deep into the metaphors of things, but sometimes just a straightforward question is where it's at. And then the final song, To the War, which of course comes back here. Oh, the fallacies of the foe are just half the curse, 'cause it's not so much good against the bad as bad against worse. Look at ourselves, don't we know there's a cause that we shun in our march to the war? And that's when he just goes off. Just a really, really enjoyable track. I really enjoyed this. And it's funny because in listening to Gino Vannelli, I get a lot of recommendations for this song or this album, or listen to this, go here, go there. And I think that just shows the strength out of listening to him, because he apparently has a lot of good material and a lot of different, eras and stuff. I mean, we first listened to him with Brother to Brother just a little bit here. And I mean, the first track really got me. I think AK, is it you? I think AK says that Storm at Sunup is your favorite. I think it's AK. It's either AK or Pentagram. I don't know why I get you too confused sometimes. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this. Thank you guys so so much for the recommendation. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow me and support what I do on Twitter. You can support me on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You don't have to, but it goes a long way. Thank you so much for being here. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you all then, guys. Bye. I don't know why I get you two confused.